The Philippine Celebrations Coordinating Committee of Hawaii is composed of about 25 community leaders. They're either presidents of various organizations or officers. And our main purpose is to serve as a liaison between the Philippine consulate and the Filipino community. So in that regard, what we do is we plan and coordinate the events, the major events in the Philippine calendar, particularly the Philippine Independence Day, the Araw ng Kagitingan, and whenever we have visiting dignitaries, kami ang responsible for putting a lot of the details together. So kaya ngayon, we're involved with the coming of the President. We are the committee that's planning, and we have been planning for the past year for this event to happen. When you look at the history of Hawaii, it's been more than a century when the first sakadas came to the islands to work in the Hawaii sugarcane plantations. Certainly there was a lot of sacrifice, tremendous courage that happened as a result of their coming. But from those humble beginnings, we have accomplished a lot. Of course, we have the first Filipino or governor of Filipino-American ancestry in Governor Ben Cayetano. We've produced 3 associate Supreme Court justices, Senate presidents. So certainly we have been part and parcel of the community. The community in Hawaii is composed of what, 170,000 Filipinos. What's good about this, you know, when you think about the fact that Hawaii or Honolulu is the 12th largest urban city in the United States, and yet ang ating values parang small town pa rin. So that's a wonderful thing. Alam mo, hindi ang ano natin, ang ating mga kababayan very plugged in pa rin sa Pilipinas. Ang ating host culture ito, Hawaiian, is very generous, very open, very hospitable. So yung katutubo na ganon, parang napapass on na rin sa ating mga kababayan. And of course, may inherently very hospitable tayong mga tao. So we are doing very well here. I think kahit na ilang taon na kami rito, ang heart natin is Filipino pa rin, and we have a passion to help whoever needs our help. And so, ang ties between Hawaii and the Philippines, hindi yun napuputol. Kaya hanggang ngayon, marami pa rin tayong mga kababayan na tumutulong sa ating mga kababayan doon sa Pilipinas. So you mentioned yung aming Rotary Club. Meron kaming Rotary Club that on a yearly basis, pumupunta kami sa Pilipinas, and for 1 week, we do construction work. When you look at me, medyo corporate tayo. Pero pag nandun ako, I roll up my sleeves, I hold a hammer, parang alam ko kung ginagawa ko. And that's part, and for me, it's very fulfilling. Yung aking ginagawa on a daily basis, siguro, you know, not fulfilling rin, pero not as fulfilling as when at the end of the day, you really have helped your countrymen. I am very proud. As you can see, you know, I wear my Filipino pride in my sleeves. Parang people who know me, they know that you know, I bandy it like a, you know, like a banner, because as far as I'm concerned, that's part of my identity. That's part of who I am. Alam mo, there is and let me share with you my dream, because one of the things that I really want to reach out to are the second generation Filipinos. And the second generation Filipinos, when you think about it, are the key to the future. The first generation Filipinos are the ones who come from the Philippines, okay? Medyo alam natin na the ties will always be there. Yung second generation, they straddle 2 worlds. They straddle the worlds of their parents, and they also straddle the world of the mainstream. So their experience will define the third generation. So kung kunyari nalimutan nila yung kanilang identity, Filipino identity, they will raise their children, yung mga third generation, as parang mainstream. Wala nang connection to the Philippines. So my dream is to really make sure that the second generation continues to be plugged into the cultural identity of the Philippines, so the values and traditions of the Philippines. And one way to do that is to encourage them to come to the Philippines, because kung wala silang context kung ano ang Pilipinas, kung ano ang Pilipino, then ang kanilang na-identify lang nila yung mga stereotypes na naririnig nila sa media. And that's not, sometimes those are not very accurate. So people who've gone to the Philippines, I've actually invited people on trade missions with me, and when they go, they see the beauty of the islands, they feel the warmth of the people, and it's through that that they realize and they become very proud of their heritage and their roots. That's what I'm trying to impart to them.
You've been in the private sector for so many years. What can you say about the public-private partnership program being pushed by the president, especially when it's going out of the country? During the Open Government Partnership, he mentioned it again, that the Philippines is open for business. What can you say about this project, the PPP?
It is a fantastic idea. It's a business model that is tried and tested. In fact, as I was sharing with you earlier, the company that I was with before I opened my own consulting company is a global company that's involved in military housing. So I'm very familiar with the business model. When you look at it, it's a win-win, wherein the private sector, the private industry, puts forth its best practice, there's discipline, there's efficiency, and so in a good way, it brings to the forefront all that discipline. So at the end of the day, the product is at its best. And at the same time, the government also benefits, right? Because they're getting the particular service done. So I think the president should certainly welcome all these initiatives and make sure, and I think it puts out a good sign that the Philippines is open for business. The other point that I want to impart is the fact that ang public-private partnership is, the wonderful thing about it is not a dole-out. Alam mo, yung minsan pag dole-out, nawawala yung dignidad ng tao. Ito, kasi partnership, so equal ang treatment. So I know our people are very hardworking, yung mga ano natin, and they're capable. So if given the opportunity. So ito, kung meron tayong opportunity maibibigay sa kanila, merong dignidad, they can rise to the occasion, they can rise to the level of competence. So yun ang magaling sa PPP. Ang message po natin kay Presidente Aquino, sana po pagpatuloy niya ang ating mga ginagawang mga magandang initiatives. Lahat po kami nagsusuporta sa kanyang mga efforts to alleviate poverty and corruption sa atin. Sa atin po namang mga kababayan, alam nyo, we are encouraged by all the wonderful things that are happening. May mga kabataan po tayo na very much about environmental issues. Naririnig po din namin na ang ating pong values and traditions nagre-remain, and yet at the same time very progressive po tayo. Ang mga tao po rito sa Hawaii are very mindful and supportive po sa inyong mga efforts. And kung ano pong tulong namin na maibibigay sa inyo, naandyan po kami to support you, hindi lang po sa time ng disasters, pero kung every single day. So kailangan lang po magtulungan tayo, and we have to work together so that we can achieve excellence and greatness.